Florida, where you can see that rocket getting prepared to blast off into space. This is the Glast space launch.
Final topping.
And with me is Dr. Margaret Adarin, a scientist from the European space company Astrium.
6, 5, 4, 3. Engine start. 1, 0, and liftoff of the Delta rocket carrying Glast, a gamma-ray telescope searching for unseen physics in the stars of the galaxies.
Well, those are spectacular pictures, and no understatement there from the commentator from NASA as that rocket blasts off into the Florida sky. And as I said, joined in the studio by Dr. Margaret Adarin. What do you think seeing that?
It just takes my breath away. I tell you, it just sort of amazing engineering, getting something that heavy up into space.
And just for those who've just joined us, what will this thing be doing? What's going on up there?
Yes, Glast is a new observatory, so a space telescope. And what it's actually going to be doing is it's going to be looking at gamma rays and X-rays. So we're quite familiar with part of the electromagnetic spectrum, which is visible light, the sort of things we see with our eyes. Now, gamma rays are the very highly energetic end of that. So they're looking into sort of the heart of stars and looking at the death throes of stars and telling us what's really going on.
So this is going deep into space?
No, it will actually sit in a low Earth orbit, about 350 miles up. But it will look out into space with a very, very wide field of view.
Yes, and this is this sort of super powerful telescope that they're taking up with them.
Yes.
Right. Complicated mission?
Yes. I think the technology we're using actually on the mission is fairly complicated. But as you see, it's sort of textbook takeoff. It just looks fantastic.
Right. Just very briefly, tell us what are we going to learn from this event?
This mission, yes.
Yeah.
So we've had X-ray telescope and gamma-ray telescopes in the past. What they can do is they actually see things like supernova, which is actually the death throes of a star. And when this happens, it releases an incredible amount of energy. But what Glast will do is, because it's got such a wide field of view, it will actually be able to see these right from the start, so right from the start of the death throes all the way through to the end, which only lasts sort of a few milliseconds to maybe a few minutes. So in the past, what we've had is telescopes which will be triggered to say that there's a gamma ray, a gamma burst happening, and then they'll swing around to see them. But Glast should be able to see them all the time and tell us exactly what's happening.
Fascinating. Margaret, thank you so much for coming in and explaining those pictures. I think we're just looking at some sort of cloud cover. No, there it is. There it is. But we've got a shot of it again. But NASA there announcing the departure of that rocket with some aplomb just a few minutes ago. Very glad to be able to bring that to you live as it blasted off from Cape Canaveral in Florida.